This is no longer a family argument. This is no longer a quiet falling out. This is now a legal war between parents and child. And for the Beckham family, this may be the most devastating development yet. Before we get into this extraordinary new twist, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because this story is moving fast. And the truth behind the Beckham feud is getting darker by the day. Brooklyn Beckham has now taken a step that many believe is impossible to come back from. According to explosive new reports, Brooklyn has sent his own parents, David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, a formal legal notice. Not a private message, not a phone call, not even a personal email. A letter, sent via lawyers. The instruction inside it is stark. David and Victoria are no longer allowed to contact their son directly. No calls, no texts, no messages. All communication must now go through legal representatives. And if that wasn't cold enough, Brooklyn also allegedly demanded something else. That his parents stop tagging him on social media. Immediately. For a family whose public love language has always been posts, photos, memories, and shared moments, this is nothing short of brutal. This wasn't a boundary. This was a shutdown. And it explains everything that followed. Because when Victoria Beckham liked a completely harmless video Brooklyn shared, a simple cooking clip, that single action was reportedly seen as a breach of the legal request. Within 48 hours, Brooklyn blocked his parents. Not unfollowed, blocked. David, Victoria, and even his younger brother Cruz, gone. And suddenly, a family that once sold unity as part of its global brand was reduced to silence. Sources close to the Beckhams say they were blindsided. They insist they would never unfollow their own son, that following him was the only remaining way to quietly show love without intruding. But now even that connection has been severed. Friends of the family say David and Victoria are devastated, not angry, not plotting revenge, just deeply confused. Because from their perspective, they were trying to keep the door open. Brooklyn, however, sees it very differently. According to sources close to him and his wife, Nicola Peltz, this legal move was born out of months of frustration. They believe attempts at private reconciliation were ignored. That too much was being done publicly. Too many olive branches posted online instead of handled quietly. But here's where public sympathy starts to crack. Because this is David Beckham, a man who has never publicly criticized his son, a man who has repeatedly posted messages of unconditional love, a father who included Brooklyn in New Year posts, in throwback photos, in family tributes, even after being blocked, even after being frozen out, even after being humiliated. And now, that father is being told to speak only through lawyers. It's an unprecedented escalation, and many are asking the same question. What kind of son does this to parents who have shown nothing but restraint? Brooklyn is still in contact with certain members of the family, his grandparents, extended relatives. He has called them, texted them, checked in over Christmas, which makes one thing painfully clear. This isn't about needing space. This is about control. Brooklyn has chosen who gets access to him and who doesn't. And shockingly, his own parents didn't make the cut. David and Victoria are reportedly represented by one of the most powerful legal firms in the country, but they never wanted lawyers involved. They wanted their son. And now, even that avenue is blocked. Sources say the Beckhams feel bemused, heartbroken, unable to understand how it came to this. They believe Brooklyn has been encouraged down this path, and once again, fingers are pointing firmly at Nicola. Friends of the family claim tensions truly escalated around the time of Brooklyn and Nicola's wedding. The dress controversy, the Mark Anthony moment, the accusations of wedding hijacking. Both Brooklyn and Nicola are said to have cried on their wedding day, and from that point on, something shifted. There was a brief thaw. Fashion shows, movie premieres, carefully staged unity, but it didn't last. Then came the missed milestones: David's 50th birthday, his knighthood, Christmas, family holidays. Brooklyn wasn't there, and each absence felt louder than the last. When Romeo began dating Kim Turnbull, who had once been linked to Brooklyn, tensions reportedly reignited. And from there, communication collapsed completely. Brooklyn now believes his parents inviting him to events was gaslighting, PR moments rather than genuine gestures. But to outsiders, that argument rings hollow. Because what parent doesn't want their child present on the biggest days of their life? What father wouldn't want his eldest son beside him when being honored by the king? And now, with communication reduced to legal letters, the idea of reconciliation feels further away than ever. David and Victoria are said to still hold hope. Quiet hope. That time will soften things. That lawyers won't be the last word. That one day, Brooklyn will unblock them. But sources close to Brooklyn paint a different picture. They say Nicola remains his rock, that he has chosen his side, that his loyalty is fixed, and that any reconciliation must happen entirely on his terms, privately, silently, with no public gestures. But here's the uncomfortable truth. David and Victoria are public figures. Their lives have always unfolded in the open. Asking them to erase their son from that world, while still being criticized for not doing enough, is an impossible demand. And as this feud drags on, public opinion is shifting. Because legal letters don't look like vulnerability. They look like punishment. Blocking your parents doesn't look like healing. It looks like retaliation. And while Brooklyn may believe he is protecting his peace, many now feel he is inflicting unnecessary pain, especially on two parents who have never stopped saying the same thing. We love you. The door is open, and we will always be here. Right now, though, that door is being guarded by lawyers. And that may be the saddest part of all, because families don't win legal battles. They only survive emotional ones. And unless something changes, this Beckham feud may no longer be about misunderstanding. It may be about permanent damage. If you want continued updates as this story unfolds, and trust me, it will, make sure you're subscribed. Because this isn't just celebrity drama anymore. It's a family falling apart in real time.